Hi guys, this is Rosita Applebum and I'm here with a highly requested video, and I just wanted to say that it's actually raining outside. I don't know what it is, but now every time I film it seems to be like pouring rain and thunder, so I'm really sorry if you hear the droplets on my air conditioner. So today I'm going to be doing a very requested video. This is my top favorite drugstore and high-end products. So I'm actually going to go through the whole face, so like base, primer. The only thing that I'm missing is a drugstore foundation because I haven't found one yet. I know I was trying a drugstore foundation, I don't know, a couple months back or maybe like a month or two back, but it's not that it broke me out. I just wasn't happy with the color and the just like texture that left my skin, so I haven't found a drugstore foundation. I'm thinking of trying the L'Oreal True Match foundation just because I see so many gurus raving about it, especially Nicole Guerrero. That's like her holy grail foundation, even over high-end foundations, so I'm thinking of buying that. Let me know what you guys think of the L'Oreal True Match, and let me know what shade you guys recommend for my skin tone if you're similar colors. So first things first, let's talk about primers. My favorite drugstore primer is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and this basically is just like a gel consistency. This kind of looks like the Smashbox Photo Finish or Photo Ready primer, if you guys are familiar with that. This will run you about $7 to $10 depending on where you get it, but this is again by Maybelline and it's the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and I find that it really just leaves like my skin very soft, so that when I lay down my foundation it'll look a lot smoother. This doesn't really affect the longevity of my makeup, but it definitely does kind of fill in my pores temporarily. And for my high end, I nominate the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and this is just the smaller version, and this is actually the opposite. This really doesn't do much for my pores, but it actually makes my foundation last all day, which is what I really look for just because I have like really long days at work and school, so I love this. This one's $20 or $25 just for the small one, and you really don't need a lot. And what this is, it's just like a waterproof base, and it just has like a white color to it, but it doesn't leave your face white, and this leaves my skin very like matte. It kind of feels like a powder finish, which is really cool. I absolutely love this, so this is the one that I pick for high end because I'm always repurchasing it, and yeah, I just love it. My skin is highly sensitive, so I only have one foundation to show you guys, and it's for the high end, and I use the Lancome Teint Miracle, and this is in the color Bisque 4W. I do have a couple of other shades, but this is the one that I'm currently using, and I just love this foundation. It's what I'm wearing right now. Very dewy, and I've gotten so used to using like a dewy foundation even though I'm oily. I'm going to be making another video on why I choose like dewy products even though I have oily skin and how I deal with that throughout the day, but this is the foundation that I use. I am looking for a perfect drugstore foundation, and when I do find one, I will be happy to do like a comparison video, half my face with the drugstore, half with high-end. I think that would be a really cool idea. Just like in general, I want to do like a half drugstore face, half high-end, just so you guys can see the difference. But for a drugstore concealer, I love Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have this in the color 20 Sand Sable. Absolutely adore this concealer. I always repurchase this. I've tried many concealers from the drugstore, like the Instant Age Rewind, also by Maybelline. I've tried a couple, but this is just the one that I always go to because it's very creamy and it's not drying at all. The under eye area is very sensitive, especially my under eye area, so I like very like creamy, soft products. This will crease on you, so I definitely recommend setting it with a powder. For a high-end concealer, I love the Nars Creamy Concealer in Custard. It's just my holy grail. I use this every single time that I wear foundation because it really just brightens up the under eye. I don't really use it for spot concealing just because, I don't know, I really don't spot conceal. Like if I have a little blemish, I'll just kind of cover it with foundation and just leave it at that. I really love this as an under eye concealer because it's just like the name says. It's very creamy, but it doesn't budge, and this will last you all day. So does the Maybelline one, so those two are very similar to me. The only difference is that this one's a bit more matte and it creases less. So they both will crease on me if I don't set them, but if you set both of them, there's no problem. So I'm sorry that I don't have the prices on the top of my head, but I will link them down below. Like I'll link Sephora's websites to this, but I think this is like $25 or $28, and the Maybelline one is again like $10 depending on where you get it. I think I got mine for like $7, and there's always like a coupon or like a buy one get one at drugstores. They both last a very long time, but the Nars one just has a little bit more of coverage, so that's why I usually go for that one. For my favorite drugstore powder or like blotting powder, I would choose the NYX Blotting Powder. This one's just in the color light medium, and this one's actually really fair for my skin tone. But I use this to kind of just touch up throughout the day. I feel like you can use this for so much. Like for the lighter shades that I have this in, I just set my concealer with. But with the darker shades, I actually use these as blotting powders because they don't cake up on me and they don't look kind of like fake. I don't know, it's very like satiny, so I love that. And for my high end, I would have to choose the Makeup Forever Duo Matte Powder. I actually had another one that was my shade, but it broke so bad that I couldn't even recover it with alcohol or any of that, so I'm just going to repurchase it. But I love this powder. It's the Duo Matte Powder. They do have a regular version, but I love the Duo Matte just because if you do have oily skin, this is a great foundation. And also it's a great blotting powder. I find that if you just set your foundation once with this, like let's say midday, you will not look cakey. If you keep on applying every hour, clearly, you know, you're gonna cake up a little bit, but I just love this powder. It's one of my favorite foundations and also one of my favorite powders in general. For eyebrows for Drugstore, I love the Wet n Wild eyebrow kit, and this is in the color ash brown. Mine is all beat up. This is like $5 by Wet n Wild. I love Wet n Wild. It's a great brand in general. They always have like a 40% off at Rite Aid, and I'm just like stocking up on Wet n Wild products, but I love this eyebrow kit. For the high-end brow product, I was gonna choose MAC Lingering, but I felt like MAC doesn't have too many brow pencils. Like, I don't know, not a lot of people find their shade. So I chose the Anastasia powder. This is in the color dark brown, but I actually have the kit that comes with all of the colors. So I feel like Anastasia Beverly Hills, you know, really focused on brows in the beginning, and they like mastered it. So I just love their brow duo powders. I love their brow gels, so I definitely would choose this one. And you can find this at Sephora. This is just the duo powder. They do have pencils, gels, powders, so definitely stop in at Sephora if you haven't tried these already. The hype that Anastasia Beverly Hills products get are legit. Like, these products are amazeballs. You need it. You need to try it. It's just that great. For bronzers for the Drugstore, I would choose the Milani Baked Bronzers. Now, these are relatively new, but I chose this one because ever since I've used it, I honestly don't want to touch any other bronzer. This was in the color Sienna, and it's a little bit dark, but I love this. This just gives you like that ideal glow. It doesn't look muddy, and I know I say that a lot about all the bronzers, but I honestly have truly fallen in love with this. Now, this bronzer is relatively new, but you should be able to find it now. And for the high end, I would choose the Guerlain or Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer. I have mine in the shade 3. The reason why I haven't been using this bronzer as much is because it's a little dark for me right now. I am very pale, and I feel like the Milani one blends out so beautifully with the Marc Jacobs brush. This one does too, but for now I haven't been using this one just because I am really fair. But love this bronzer. It also blends out pretty. Compared to the Milani one, this Guerlain one is ideal for bringing with you just because it's going to fit in your makeup bag much nicer than this one. So I normally don't really carry this one, but I feel like the bronzer lasts all day on your skin, so you don't really have to touch up. So love these two. Eyeshadows for the Drugstore, I would go with the NYX Matte Shadows. This is in the shade Whipped Cream, and it's just a really pretty, very pigmented white shade. And I really like white shadows. I don't know, I feel like they really pop out my eyes. I like to use it all over and then add my browns. I don't know, I just really like this one. And then I just have a random one. This is called Guilt Trip. It's just a dark brown NYX shadow. I love NYX shadows. Some of them aren't as pigmented, so you kind of have to play around with them and see which ones really work for you. But for the high end, it was a tough call. It was going to be MAC shadows, and I do love MAC shadows, but I don't know, I went for the Lorac Pro Palette just because I really hit pan on these, and I feel like I gravitate towards this palette so much, especially the colors Cream, Mauve, Taupe, and Sable, and White, and Espresso. Just like the top row of this. If you can't get your hands on the Lorac Pro Palette, I would try their to-go palette or even their individual shadows, because I feel like these are so creamy and blendable. These shadows look so naturally blended on the eye. I always get compliments when I wear this palette, so this had to be my pick. I do love MAC shadows though. MAC shadows are about $15, and I believe this was around $42. I think they now sell Lorac on Kohl's website or at Kohl's. I'm not really sure. I got mine at Ulta, They did once have it in store at Sephora, but you could just Google around and find the Lorac Pro Palette because it's worth it. For mascaras, of course, I had to go with Jordana Best Lash Extreme for the Drugstore. This is about $1.99 or $2.99. Again, it's by Jordana, and the brush to this mascara is just amazing. My only gripe with this is that it actually kind of like transfers here, so it looks like I kind of have like black bags throughout the day. So I normally don't use this on my lower lashes, but sometimes I do just because it's so black and really volumizes your lashes. So I'll just use like another mascara on top of this one. That was confusing, but I do love this mascara. I always buy it. Like, I have like a billion of these. I am just obsessed with it, and for the price, like, you know, it's worth a shot, and I actually fell in love with it. And the person who put me onto this was Nars, and yeah, I just love this mascara. For high end, I would choose the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and this thing is like gigantic mascara. The wand is just huge, and I really like this mascara because, again, it also volumizes my lashes. I already have pretty long lashes, so I look for very black volumizing mascaras, not really lengthening or curling. So I love this mascara. I think this was around $23, and I was kind of skeptical because a lot of girls said that they didn't really like it, but then a lot of girls said they did. I fell in love with it, and I've already purchased 2 of these, so I really go through these because I love it. I use this mascara with the Jordana almost every single day. And if you watch my channel, you should know that I'm obsessed with winged eyeliner, and the Drugstore one that I choose is by Milani. It's the Eye Tech Extreme. I really like this because it's very thin and it's a felt tip liner. I normally pick felt tip liners. They're a lot easier for me. I wanted to show you guys one by L'Oreal, but I actually don't have it here, but I believe it's the L'Oreal Infallible, and it's a felt tip liner. I really love that one, but I just haven't repurchased it just because I've been using my Stila one. So this is the high-end version of that Milani one. This is the Stay All Day liquid eyeliner. This is $20 or $23. You can find this at Sephora. I love this eyeliner because it's just so black. This stuff is highly pigmented and it literally stays all day, so this is definitely my high-end pick. I've repurchased this many times because it's just my holy grail eyeliner, and I do have it on today, but I kind of put like glitter so it doesn't look that black, but love this. And last but not least, I want to talk about lip products. For my Drugstore, I chose the Wet n Wild lipstick in Bare It All. This is 902C. It just is a gorgeous color. This is about $1.99 at the Drugstore. Again, it's by Wet n Wild. These aren't the most moisturizing, but if you exfoliate your lips and apply a lip gloss over top, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. I find that this color, Bare It All, is probably one of the more moisturizing ones from the whole line. I think I pretty much have purchased the whole Wet n Wild lipstick line because they're like $1.99 or $2.99. And as far as a Drugstore lip gloss, I love the NYX Butter Glosses. This one's in the color Madeline, but I love all of them, especially the nude colors. This is the color Madeline. I love the butter glosses because they aren't sticky and they're also very pigmented. And for the high end, I would go with 2 MAC products. Lately, I've been really into MAC lip products, although they are very drying to me. This is the color Blankety, and this is one of their lipsticks. Lipsticks will run you about $15, but I just think that they're amazing. If you bring back 6 empty containers, they'll actually give you like a free lipstick or lip gloss, so I love that about MAC. And yeah, I just love the packaging, and MAC lipsticks are just infamous for a good reason because they are very pigmented. Now again, they are drying, so I wouldn't go for a MAC lipstick every single day, but I do think that they have some really great nudes. And for lip gloss, I chose Boy Bait. This is one of my favorite lip glosses, and it's just really pretty. This lip gloss isn't as pigmented as the NYX ones, but it still is really pretty. And for another high-end lip gloss, I would choose the Whitening Lightning Color Your Smile lip glosses. I'm actually wearing one right now. I'm using Coral Craze today. The nude shade is one of my holy grail colors. So this is Whitening Lightning Nude Lip Gloss, and I'm obsessed with it. I do have a coupon code, so to kind of ease the price a little bit because these are kind of pricey, but they do have a built-in LED light as well as a mirror. I'm always talking about these because I'm just infatuated with them, especially this color, the nude, but I'm actually really loving Coral Craze. Like I said, I do have it on my lips right now. Like always in makeup, what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. So these are just products that I personally love. I've gone through so many high-end and drugstore products that are similar to each other, but these were just my favorites for a while now. So hopefully you found this video helpful. My top is actually a dress and it's by Missguided. I purchased it about a week ago. It's from the Nicole line, so I will leave a link down below. On my eyes, I am wearing a pigment by Alexa Perisco Cosmetics and it's the color Bronze Baby, and I'm also using Anastasia Beverly Hills Lavish palette. So I use Sienna and Orange Soda in the crease. On my lips, I am wearing Coral Craze by Whitening Lightning. I will leave a link and a coupon code down below. On my cheeks, I use the Sienna Milani bronzer, the Baked Bronzer, and for blush, I used Nars Madly. And for a highlight, I use the Gerard Cosmetics BB Cream. I will leave a link and a coupon code. And I used MAC Whisper of Guilt, which is like one of my favorites. And I know I didn't mention a highlight favorites, but that's because I don't have a drugstore favorite highlight. But I do love, for high-end MAC ones, all of their mineralized skin finishes like Superb, Soft and Gentle, Gold Deposit. I also love Nars Albatross highlight. It's one of my favorites, so that's why I didn't mention it, because I really didn't have a drugstore one to compare it to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to say. Hold up. Blah, 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 blah. So let me stop blabbing. So let me... I'm gonna marry it anyway. Last you, but you know, I don't know. Can you get me soda? No soda. I'm like choking over here.
Was it apple bummers?
I made my cousin get me soda. I probably look like such a brat.